What's going on? My name is ADSaaron. But if you've already been here and you already know that, let's not waste time. We're going to be diving into Episode 3 of the Overwatch Magic Wand. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the story mode for Overwatch. That's right. We're going to be covering why I think Overwatch should definitely have some sort of story mode. With that said, let's dive right in. So a story mode for Overwatch. The story mode that I want to see doesn't necessarily have to be a story with a beginning, a middle, and end, you know, a more traditional story mode that other games would typically have. I just want to see a collection of archive-style events. You know, those events that you get once a year where you and a few friends team up and battle against AI. I want to see a bunch of those. I don't know about you guys, but those are always some of my favorite events every year. And I think it's because they change each year. Those little story modes, or campaign missions, whatever you want to call them, are a very good break from the traditional Overwatch competitive grind, and they're also a great way to practice mechanics with heroes that you don't typically play. I know last year, I played McCree for more hours than I could count, and my ability to left-click heads is way better than it ever would have been if we didn't have that mission. The very first point I want to make about these story missions is they should definitely be available year-round. I think when you launch Overwatch and you're looking at the quick play, arcade, custom game options, there should be a nice little tile that says story mode off to the side, and you should be able to pick between all these different missions and play them year-round, just because, like I mentioned, they are a good break from the traditional Overwatch competitive grind. A break that I think a lot of the player base would really appreciate, especially myself. I know I would definitely appreciate that. So the second point I want to make about this story mode is it needs to have a lot of different missions. There should be as many missions as there are maps, at least. Sometimes it seems like there aren't a lot of maps in Overwatch, but when you think about it, we'd have a pretty good little pool of maps to choose from, and it'd be easy to not get burnt out on doing missions because there's enough maps to kind of keep us entertained. At least I think there is. Moving on to the third point I want to make, each of these missions should have a cast of 4 different heroes. It should definitely vary from mission to mission. Maybe they could even have a few solo or duo missions that you do, there's only 2 of you, or you just do it by yourself. But I think the cast of heroes you play as should definitely vary from map to map, just to keep things interesting. And just like during the regular archive event, I'd love to see the playlist broken down into 2 different modes. I want to see the standard version where you are forced into picking 4 specific heroes that are dedicated to that mission, and then I want an all heroes mode where you could just do super cheesy like Mei, Bastion, Torb, Reinhardt, just whatever you want to do in that mode. Those 2 different modes would definitely help to keep things interesting. And this kind of ties into my next point, but the 2 different modes, the standard mode and the all heroes mode, should have separate leaderboards. Maybe you're a lot better at the standard version than a lot of your friends are, or maybe you're a lot better at the all heroes version than a lot of your friends are for that one map. So you kind of specialize and do that one and kind of challenge your friends, hey, I know that you have a higher standard score with the base 4 characters, but check out this all heroes score I got, see if you can beat it. Like I said, that ties into my next point. There needs to be a leaderboard.
No, you didn't.
Being able to look and compare yourself to players in your region, and also just your friends list would be awesome. I think it'd be really cool to be playing, quick play or competitive, and then get a message from an old friend of mine, maybe I haven't talked to them in a month, and have them be like, oh, hey, dude, I just broke your score on, mission number 6 in the standard version, see if you could beat that, or somebody could message you and say, hey man, I noticed that you have X amount of points on this one mission in standard mode, how'd you do it? I've been trying with my friends, do you have any pointers? I think the leaderboard would be a great social feature for a story mode that really help to keep people engaged because you're constantly trying to one-up one another. So the next point I want to make is this story mode should definitely have a matchmaking feature. You should be able to solo queue in, get matched with a few randoms, and kind of take on that story mission with those randoms. I think it'd be a really good way to meet new people, especially because it's typically a more, lax environment, maybe people aren't going to be as salty or toxic in this mode, because it's going to be a lot more fun, especially if you're just doing it on like easy or normal. You're pretty much just there to pass time, kind of have fun, and you can meet other people that are also there for the same things. Or let's say you meet somebody who plays a certain hero well in a certain campaign mode, and you say, hey, you know, what rank are you this season? Oh, really? You know, I'm kind of the same rank. Maybe we could get together. You know, I'm a main tank player. I could really use a good support player to duo with. You know, let's add each other. Let's go out. Let's play competitive sometime. This would be a great environment to meet people, especially if there was a matchmaking feature. So let's recap. If I had an Overwatch Magic Wand right now, I'd be adding a story mode to this game. The missions would be available year-round, and there'd be a lot of different missions, as many as there are maps. Each of the missions would have a cast of different heroes to kind of spice things up from mission to mission, and there'd be different modes of each map. You'd have the standard with the 4 heroes that are automatically selected, or you'd have an all-heroes mode. The story modes would have leaderboards. Each of the missions would have its own independent score, so you could compare your scores to your friends, or maybe even other players in your region. And to wrap it up, there'd be matchmaking capability, that way you could get matched up with other random players who also want to play these missions with you. And that is what I would do to Overwatch if I had that Overwatch Magic Wand right now. So what do you think? Would you add a story mode to Overwatch? Did you like my ideas? Did you hate them? Is there something that I forgot? Get down in the comments and let me know. I love seeing what you guys have to say. That'll do it for Overwatch Magic Wand episode number 3. Thank you, as always, for stopping by, and I will see you next time.
Yeah, swear. Lately I've been staring in the mirror like, who is he? All this liquor can't be out there for my kidney.